Okay. Hi, I'm going to be telling you about my travels in India. India is the best country. It's incredible. I had the best time. It was an insane trip, the best trip of my life. I started in New Delhi, which, okay, New Delhi is a bit different. New Delhi is like the first time I ever experienced culture shock. It's busy, intense, crazy, hot. Everyone wants to talk to you, and it's true, everyone wants to take a photo with you, especially because I was a woman with blonde hair. Like, it was cool at first. I was like, okay, it's what it feels like to be famous. Nice, it's fun. And then I was like, okay, please leave me alone now, please. Like, give me a break. And I was also attacked by a monkey in New Delhi, which was scary, and now I have an irrational fear of monkeys. But I was okay, it was all okay. After New Delhi, we got a bus to a place called Leh, which is like the main city. We drove on the highest motorable road in the world. It's 5,700 meters above sea level, which is crazy. It's so high, and the road is so thin, and it just drops. It just drops like a cliff for like maybe 100 meters, so high. And at the bottom you can see like trucks that have fallen off, and they don't take them away because it's in the middle of the Himalayas. Like, they can't do anything with them. They just leave them there. And oh my gosh, the most terrifying drive of my life. Luckily, we made it safe and sound, and we didn't die, which is very good.
But I got sick.
Yeah, he got sick, which wasn't the best. But after this drive, we made it to the city, and from the city we hitchhiked to a place called Zanskar. Now Zanskar is in the middle of nowhere. It's a 10-hour drive from the city, and again driving through these crazy roads in the mountains, on the cliffs. But luckily we managed to hitchhike with one guy who was going straight there, so we just were with him for the whole ride, and we listened to the traditional Ladakhi music, and he was a really nice guy, and he'd always like stop and be like, look at this mountain, it's so pretty, you want me to take a photo of you? Like, it was really cool. And he drops us off at the monastery we want to go to, but we're like, okay, but where is the monastery? We can't see it. And he's like, it's a 4-kilometer walk this way through the mountains. And we're like, okay, like, we'll give it a try. It was a hard walk. It was a very hard walk. It took us a very long time, but it was
high
beautiful.
altitude.
Yeah, high altitude makes you like so slow. But it was insanely beautiful. It's like these desert mountains, orange and brown and crazy colors, and then there's this beautiful like icy blue river that's so powerful, just running through the middle, and it's the most picturesque thing you'll ever see in your life. It's insane. And we made it to the monastery. The monastery was also beautiful, on the edge of a cliff, built hundreds of years ago. Like, it's really crazy place. And because there's no light pollution, the stars in the sky were insane. We like camped in our tent with the roof open, so you can just lie there and see like these beautiful galaxies in the sky. It's insane. After this monastery, we were actually invited to a traditional Indian Buddhist wedding, and it was really fun. We stayed up all night like dancing and drinking, and the ceremonies were really interesting, very different to our Western wedding. Very different. They done all of these dances, and they like parade the bride around, and it's like they wear like these outfits, these costumes.
Yeah, costumes.
Yeah, and they're really like big and like out there, and it's like, oh, okay, it's really cool. After this wedding, we went to another monastery, and this was the nicest monastery in the whole world. We were greeted by this amazing monk who says like, come in, like, we have a room for you. And he shows us this beautiful room that has glass windows overlooking the whole valley. It's amazing. And he says, the only thing you have to do is eat dinner with us every night. And we stayed there for a few days. It was crazy. We were right next to a classroom, and there were kids there, and they were really sweet kids. And they'd always like knock on our door and be like, time, because our room was the only room with a clock in it in the whole monastery, which is really cool. Then after this monastery, we continued hitchhiking around all the villages, and there's these beautiful villages with rice fields like so green, and little rivers running through the village that everyone gets their water from because it's straight from the mountain spring. And it's like everyone has a pet cow in the garden for the milk
So
and
many
for the
animals.
resources. It's amazing, so many animals. These just beautiful coloured houses. It's insane. And actually one guy that we were hitchhiking with invited us to stay in his house for the night, which was crazy. And we got to see what it was like inside. We sat and drank tea with him. It was really cool because he didn't speak any English really, and we didn't speak any Ladakhi, so we would just communicate with interactions, and he taught us how to like cook the traditional dinner, and it was an amazing experience. A really beautiful place. If you love the nature and the outdoors and the mountains, then go to Zanskar. It's the best place in the world. Thank you for listening. It's crazy.